The man knew the other party was a scammer, yet he foolishly handed over $100,000 in cash. In reality, he intended to use this $100,000 as bait. Sure enough, the next day, the scammer returned with $300,000 for him. He was given back $100,000 of his capital and $200,000 of his winnings. Then the scammer tried to convince the man to invest another $500,000. He had already figured out the scammer's tricks and decisively refused. This left the boss of the scam ring in a panic. 3 days earlier, the scam ring had come to the village to distribute mooncakes for free, claiming they were hosting an event where if one sponsored $1,000, they would get $1,000 back the next day along with a gift. Upon hearing this, the villagers said it was a scam. The scammers were prepared and showed them the company's business license, and had several accomplices present to encourage participation. The villagers remained cautious, still observing the situation. One accomplice deliberately handed the scammer $1,000 in cash, and the scammer told him to come back the next day to claim his prize. The next day, the scam ring arrived at the village on time, immediately returning the $1,000 to the accomplice who had sponsored them the day before, and additionally giving a water dispenser worth $500 as a gift. Seeing this, the villagers no longer doubted the scam. One man asked when the next wave of activities would start. The scammer said that today, if one sponsored $10,000, they could win a $5,000 refrigerator and a $10,000 washing machine the next day. The opportunity was still limited to just one person. The scammer's hunger marketing excited the villagers, who eagerly rushed to sponsor. The man quickly intervened, saying he had priority sponsorship rights because he asked first, so the man hurried home to get the money. That evening, the scammers celebrated with drinks, having easily scammed $10,000 in just 2 days. The new scammer felt this was much better than working in a factory. The boss said he lacked ambition and needed to continue scamming for larger amounts. The next day, they arrived in the village again, returning the $10,000 sponsored the day before, and rewarding the man with a washing machine. The man was very pleased to receive the money. At that point, the scammer began to act, saying the company had raised the daily sponsorship from $10,000 to $100,000. If he sponsored $100,000 today, he would receive $200,000 in cash tomorrow. Hearing about such a large sum, the man was very excited. The scammer, worried that the man couldn't produce $100,000 alone, suggested he partner with the villagers to come up with the money. The villagers, thinking the money was easy to make, rushed to contribute. But the man didn't want to give this opportunity to the other villagers, and planned to go home to get the cash himself. The villagers stopped him, accusing him of being selfish. However, the man had participated in the activity the day before, so he had priority. Soon he returned with $100,000 in cash. Seeing this, the scammer told the man to come back tomorrow to claim his prize. Unbeknownst to them, the scam ring's boss had decided to call it quits. The scammer suggested they take advantage of their success and continue extorting the man, because he was the household in the village that had received the most compensation from relocation funds, guessing that the man's family had at least $1 million at home. The boss was more conservative and worried about being caught by the police, so she divided the $100,000 among several accomplices. Just then, the boss received a call, learning that members of another team had been arrested by the police.